Okay, Chair, we're live on YouTube, so I'll hand over to you.
Thank you very much indeed. Well, good morning and welcome to the meeting of the Placemaking in Exmouth Town and Seafront Group on Tuesday, the 10th of December 2024. I am your Chair, Councillor Nick Hookway. I would also like to welcome anyone watching the meeting via the live streaming. May I remind colleagues that the Code of Conduct applies throughout this meeting. We also reserve the right to remove and disconnect any participant who is disrupting the meeting by whatever means. Please turn off your any telephone devices or to off or on silent. In the event of a break in the internet connection, please bear with us as we try to reconnect. After 15 minutes, if we're not able to reconnect, we will consider this meeting adjourned and reconvene at a later date. Should you wish to comment, please raise your electronic hand and wait to be called. We will now start the meeting by doing a roll call of committee members here present. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you. So we'll start with yourself, Councillor Hookway, please.
Present, thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Arnott.
Present.
Thank you. Councillor Hayward. Councillor Olive. Councillor Aurora Bailey. Councillor Anne Hall.
Present. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you. Councillor Davey.
Present.
Thank you. Councillor Matt Hall.
Present.
Thank you. Councillor Deasy.
Present.
Thank you. And Councillor Wibley. Okay, and I can confirm that we're correct, Chair. I'll pass back to you.
Thank you very much. So agenda item 1, minutes of the previous meeting held on the 9th of September 2024, pages 3 to 4 on your agenda. Do any members of the committee have comments on the minutes of the previous meeting held on the 9th of September 2024? If so, please raise your electronic hand. If there are no hands raised, I will take it that you're happy that the minutes are received and noted. Right. Are there any hands raised, Sarah? I can't see any.
No, there are none.
Right, thank you. Okay. Right, so those minutes are received and noted. So agenda item 2, apologies. Sarah, do we have any apologies, please?
Yes, apologies from Councillor Tim Dumper.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. So agenda item 3, declarations of interest. This will be done by roll call. When your name is called, please state your declaration, including which agenda item your declaration relates to. State exactly what your interest is and the specific type that you are declaring. Sarah, over to you.
Thank you. So yourself, Councillor Hookway.
So effects NRI, I'm a member of Exmouth Town Council. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Arnott.
None, thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Anne Hall.
None, thank you, Sarah.
Thank you. Councillor Davey.
Yes, also a member of Exmouth Town Council.
Thank you. Thank you. Councillor Matt Hall.
Effects NRI as an Exmouth Town Councillor.
Thank you. Councillor Deasy.
I'm here as a member of Exmouth Town Council representing that particular council. Thank you.
Thank you. And are there any other councillors in the meeting that need to declare an interest for any of the items on the agenda, please? Okay, there are no hands raised, so I'll hand back to you, Chair.
Thank you. So agenda item 4, public speaking. One member of the public has registered to speak, Mrs. Anne Membry. Is Mrs. Membry present? Yes, I can hear something.
I've asked to speak at this meeting because I would like answers to some of the contents of the documents which are attached to the agenda for this meeting. Why in the Exmouth Placemaking Plan Delivery Strategic Chart isn't there any inclusion in the list of dates to engage with the public, EDDC taxpayers? I keep being told that there has been public consultation, but I've never heard or seen the results of the consultations. Isn't it time that this committee is more transparent with the public and they are given the opportunity to attend an open consultation where there is an opportunity to see actual dates and plans and can speak to members of the PEPS committee? I know there are dates for stakeholders to be included in the Exmouth Placemaking Plan Delivery strategy, but they probably don't represent all of the views of the public in general. I expect the chairperson of this committee will give me the same narrative answer as I usually get when I speak at these meetings, and that EDC have to go through the legal process. This legal process to me seems to be going on for a very long time without any changes to Exmouth Seafront and Town, and all at the expense of East Devon District Council taxpayers. I've written to the EDC Scrutiny Committee to ask if the money paid to the consultancy company WSP to produce a 10-year strategic plan for Exmouth was justified, as some of the ideas in the plan do not even seem feasible for Exmouth. I received a reply from Naomi Harnett, Corporate Lead Major Projects and Programmes Officer, who has offered to meet me. I recently spoke to her by phone and we have arranged to meet face-to-face on the 7th of January 2025. She's given me some answers in her reply to my letter to EDC Scrutiny Committee, but I hope to get more answers from her when we meet. Included in the document attached to the agenda, I've read the UK Share Prosperity Fund feasibility study section. Surely the information in this section is something the public should be known about, as I presume this UK Share Prosperity Fund has come from government, and members of the public surely have a right to know about any money EDC have available to them and how it may be spent. As I always say when I speak at this committee, any future developments of the Queen's Drive space should be reinstated with amenities for all generations to enjoy at a price that is affordable to all members of the public. By speaking to Exmouth residents and tourists to Exmouth, I know they feel the same. When the weather isn't suitable to enjoy being on the beach, there needs to be more attractions on the seafront for residents and tourists to enjoy. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much indeed, Mrs. Anne Membry. Thank you very much indeed for your time in composing your speech, a copy of which I have in front of me. I note your comments about consultations. We have had consultations, and perhaps it's time we need to make sure that those consultations are republished, and also to consider your comments about having a public meeting for the future. I do reiterate my previous comments at a previous meeting about the fact that we have to go through due process. It is very important that we follow legal process as recommended by officers, because we do not want to get into any form of legal action with anybody, because that can be extremely expensive in the long run and also slow down the actual process of placemaking. I note your comments about the consultants WSP. Their fees are standard fees whenever property is involved in any form of consultation. We are working with them, and we'll make sure in the long run that we do get value for money for residents. Okay, the UK Share Prosperity Fund that you mentioned, this is a cross portfolio programme that has resulted in a number of initiatives, such as the Carbon Action Fund, the Cultural Development Fund, and funds for tourism. This has to be spent by the end of this financial year, and we need to make sure that that money is spent and not returned to government. Finally, I would say that I absolutely support your views in getting new amenities on the seafront for all residents and visitors to enjoy. That is the purpose really of our placemaking plan. We are looking forward. We are looking forward over 10 years. We are giving certainty to businesses and saying, look, this is what you're going to have from us over the next 10 years. And we are seeing slowly the results of that in a positive way, because we are having businesses who are investing in the seafront with new facilities.
I know I'm not to speak, but I may not be here in 10 years.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that, I'm afraid. So I beg your pardon. Perhaps if you care to write to me with that final comment, I will write back to you over the coming days. Right, okay. So thank you very much indeed, Mrs. Membry, for your contribution. Right, so agenda item 5, moving on, matters of urgency. There are no matters of urgency. Agenda item 6, confidential exempt items. There is one confidential exempt item, which is listed as agenda item 8. So moving on now to agenda item 7, the Exmouth Placemaking Plan Update, pages 5 to 8. I'm going to hand over to Naomi to deliver this item. Thank you. Naomi.
Thank you, Chair. So through this paper, we provide an update on the various aspects of work that we are currently working to conclude. Firstly is the Exmouth Placemaking Plan, and we've provided an updated programme taking us through from current time and the work that we've done to engage with internal stakeholders to ensure that the placemaking plan will be deliverable, and sets out our proposals for a series of stakeholder workshops following a stakeholder mapping exercise, and a programme for this work is provided in Appendix A. I'm very happy to take any questions on this part of the report first before I move on to the UK SBF feasibility studies.
Right, thank you. Let me just see if I can get back my right. Thank you. Okay, so members, does anybody have any questions? I don't see any hands up. Sarah, are there any hands up?
Councillor
No.
Barlow.
Oh, right. I haven't got Councillor Barlow on here. Right. Okay, Councillor Barlow, your question, please.
Thank you, Chair. I was just wondering on the Exmouth placement, have we hired a consultant to consult on the consultants, or is this a different group? So I just see this J Price Consulting has come up. Are they consulting on the consultants that we've hired to do the consulting, or is this something else?
No, it's something else. Naomi, would you like to mention that, or would you like me to deal with that?
I'm very happy to deal with that, Chair, for you.
Okay.
Apologies, I should have introduced Rachel Papworth at the beginning of the meeting. So Rachel Papworth worked for Price Consulting, and she is providing interim support following the departure of Jerry Mills from the authority. And so but we didn't want to lose the staffing resource for this work, and so Rachel has kindly come into work for us 2 days a week until we recruit a new member of staff to Jerry's role.
Okay, thank you very much. Councillor Barlow, does that answer your question?
Right, so this is just a temporary member of staff, then not actually consulting. Okay, fine.
Yep.
So, and that's included, I presume, in the costings already, your normal staffings?
Through you, Chair, yes, it's included within our normal staffing budget.
Okay, thank you.
Right, thank you very much. I don't see any other hands up, but right, okay, so I think we can move on. Naomi, back to you, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Then through the SPF feasibility studies, we have had to just revise our procurement exercise for this piece of work, but we have worked through that rather swiftly over the last week or so, and we have a new consultant starting with us. They've already had an initial meeting with the team and are going to be making their first visit to Exmouth next week. And so that is to undertake feasibility studies for both Queen's Drive space and also beach gardens, as previously discussed at this meeting. Again, very happy to take any questions through you, Chair.
Thank you very much indeed. Members, over to you. I don't see any hands up, but I'm not seeing everybody here. Sarah, are there any hands up?
No, Chair, there are none.
Okay, right. Okay, thank you very much indeed. So if there are no further questions on agenda item 7, which there don't appear to be so, we will now move into private session. So that brings the public part of our consultation meeting to an end. However, can I just remind all those present that the supporting officer will confirm when the meeting is no longer being recorded or going live. And until then, your comments will be live to the public. Please wait for confirmation that the meeting is no longer live on YouTube.